Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another Crash Your Trash. This video, actually, the idea came from Nagiza Creates, and I apologize, my friend, if I got that wrong. I'm not great at pronouncing things, so I will be sure to link her channel in the video description. My understanding is she saw it over on Julie's channel at Camellia Crafts. So both of them phenomenal creators. And so I had just seen the one that was by Nagiza, so I went ahead and just watched her, and then I'm going to go ahead and create off of her idea. So it's basically a double pocket using, and I'm using my scraps. So this one I did not use scraps just because I was trying to play around with my prototype and I wanted to play around with the direction and all of that. In the future, I probably would not have notched this because I feel like it took away from that flap. But basically, what you have here is you use two 6x6 pieces of paper, which I'll show you here in a second. And then they just kind of nest inside of each other, which creates this pocket here in the front, and it also creates a pocket in the back. Now, what she did on her video is she actually brought this down. You'll see it when I do do these ones, but I moved this down so that I would have a bigger space here. So you can totally do this however suits you. You could do this reverse. This could have been on this side so that it was a shorter pocket here. So you can play around with it and see what you like the best. So let's go ahead and get started. I need to move my mouse because if I hit pause, it will stop the filming. So still getting used to the equipment here and still recovering from being sick. Excuse me, just having a drink of my coffee. I did finally go to the doctor yesterday. I already knew I didn't have COVID, but they've given me a nebulizer for my asthma, which I've been wanting forever and a day. Could never get anybody to get me one, and then some cough medicine to help with the cough, and steroids to get ahead of the inflammation in my lungs. No pneumonia or anything like that. So I am on the mend, but I'm moving slow, so I wanted to create something simple today so that I could just kind of not sit around on my couch all day and be productive, but not put myself too far out there energy wise. So that is our prototype, and that paper is actually, I don't have it in front of me, I put it away, but it's a new paper pack that I purchased. I believe it's Stamperia, and it's all ballerina stuff, which I just adore. So what we have here is I'm gonna decorate one of them on camera, which is this one here. So I'm going to save this one for last. So I'm going to set that over there, and then we're going to talk about how these work. So again, I pulled stuff out of my scrap bin. And so this is a really neutral paper I thought would be fun to try. And what I realized in doing my prototype is that these don't have to be, like if this one was slightly smaller, which I believe it's just like, I don't know if you can see, because it had that kind of, that perforate, oh my goodness, that edge, the perforation edge, and I had to cut that off because it was that scissory look. So that made one of them smaller than the other, but I don't think it's a problem in this design at all. So that's our first one. And then again, these are scraps. This is from, this one's smaller too. It didn't match up, but again, I think we can make it work. So that's the second one, and I adore this. So I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit of a mass make here just to have some stuff in my stash for upcoming journals. So that's the front, and then that's the back. And then, oh, I didn't realize that, I think those are bones. Do those look like dog bones? I think they might be. So again, I'm only going to decorate the one, and I'm not going to do any of the stuff that goes in the pockets on camera. That's something you guys can do. All of my pre-made stuff is too bulky. I need to keep those tags and journal cards really, really simple. So I'll be doing that off camera. So the first thing you want to do is, if you've got a directional paper, you want to be thinking about the direction. This one looks like you could technically go either way, because as you can see, if I turn it this way, these leaves are upside down. If I turn it this way, the leaves are upside down. So I think this one I could go either direction. So I don't have to think about that, which is good because I get really turned around really easily. But I do want them to be going the same I don't want this one. Well, I guess on this paper, it doesn't really matter at all. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and score each of these at 2.5 inches. If you're concerned about the direction, you do want to pay attention to which direction you are scoring this. And we might bump into that with that blue rose one, but we'll get there when we get there. So I'm going to go ahead and score this at 2.5. And then this one doesn't matter, so I'm going to go ahead and score this one at the same at 2.5. Really, really simple project. Camellia Crafts, she's just phenomenal. And Nagiza, and again, I apologize if that's the wrong pronunciation, but she does some fantastic work too. She's actually a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, is my understanding. So I'm just going to fold these the one way just so I can think about which way I want these to go. So basically, one of your things is going to be your front flap. So I think I'm going to have this be my front flap. And so then what's going to happen with this is it's going to go inside like that. And then this is going to be your pocket on the back. So that I don't really care for because they're both the same. So you're not going to really be able to tell. But again, that is totally up to you. It's personal preference. I'm going to go ahead and do that so they're opposite. So isn't that adorable? I do think those are bones though. That's so funny. So then you have a couple of options. You can do your thumb notches. I use my circle punch. I think this is my 1.5. And then I think on Nagiza's video, she actually rounded the corners and I really liked the look of that. So I might round my corners as well. We'll see. Yeah, so then basically, because we don't have to really, oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to control that. So remember when I was talking about how you can control the height of that pocket, of each of those pockets? See how I'm moving that up and down? So if I put it there, I'm going to get a bigger pocket opening on this side. And I'm also getting a bigger pocket opening on this side. So I am going to do that. So I'm going to leave that there because you know how turned around I get when I start moving my papers around. So I'm going to go ahead and do a thumb notch with my 1.5 inch punch. There we go. And then, so again, we're going to bring that down. And then I want to do one on this side as well. Well, do we need one on this side? I'm thinking about this. I don't think we do need one on this side. I kind of like that straight edge. So I think on this one, I'm not going to do that. So I am going to go ahead and round my corners here on the bottom part here. So hopefully this is making sense and hopefully this will punch through both layers. Beautiful. Of course, you don't have to do that. You don't have to round your edges. Oops. So backwards. Nope, wrong way. Oh, Lord. Yeah, like that. So, you know what? I am going to put a thumb notch here just to be consistent with the rest of the project. Of course, you can do what you choose. There we go. And there we go. So when you open, whoops, oh goodness, open, we've got a pocket. Turn over, we've got a pocket. So I wonder, I think I want to round these as well. I think I'm going to round all the corners just to be, whoops, that's not a corner rounder. Goodness gracious, Renee. And I didn't sleep great last night, so I'm probably going to be napping when I'm done here because I'm quite tired. I took the steroid yesterday afternoon when I got home from the doctor's, which they recommend that you do that in the morning so that you're not up all night, and I was up all night. Oh my goodness, I'm so turned around. Don't do what I do, guys. That's not right. Oh my word. How can one person get so turned around so easily? So it's like that. Goodness gracious. So let's leave that like that. You guys know me well enough to know that this is just my jam, this getting turned around. So Hope you'll forgive me for that. I'll speed through the other ones though, so you don't have to watch the painstaking process here. I don't do things turned around very well. I can tell you that right now. So that is wrong. There we go. So there and there. Yeah, because I decided, oh, I wanted a thumb notch there. What happened to my thumb notch? Maybe I have these backwards. I bet that's it. Yikesies. Yeah, like that. So don't move it, Cara-Renee. So we're going to go ahead and glue these really quick. So again, and I'm not going to ink these. Well, I might ink. I can ink those when I'm done. I'm not going to ink the dark because I don't really think it's going to show up. So I'm going to basically just decide how far down I want this. So this is my fold. You guys can see it on camera probably better than I can see it on my surface here. So I'm going to go ahead and come down with this. And I'm just going to put glue. I'm going to put glue from here down. I'm using my art glitter glue, hopefully. Goodness gracious. On both sides. I'm not going to put it down on the bottom because that will limit my pocket. So then I'm just going to put this back in here and I'm going to line it up and close this baby and straighten it because it's very crooked. I'm going to pick it up, see if I can get that straight. There we go. Got a little bit much glue over there. I think I moved it down further than I had intended, but again, it doesn't matter for what we're doing here. So that is our first pocket glued in, and then we're going to turn her over and we're going to do the same with this pocket. And I didn't round those ones. Oh well. Oh well. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this down and do the same here. I'm going to put glue on both of these edges. Maybe should have had another cup of coffee before I did this. There we go. So, there we go. That's the back. I thought I had, that wasn't supposed to be like that. Oh well, maybe it was. I just didn't remember that this was the same print as that, but it's okay. I'm going to round these corners now. I promise the other ones will go smoother. I will probably speed through those just because you've already kind of seen the process. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this, and I will be sure to cut that out. You guys don't need to see how to ink stuff. I always ink everything. It does actually show on that blue a lot more than I thought it would, so I'm going to try to ink these edges that I missed just a little bit. And then here, and there we go. There is our first one. So front flap, and you could always do like you could do a button closure, or I think what Nagiza did is she did a like a tab here, and then you just glue it so that this sticks under that, which I didn't think of to do before I turned the camera on, but you guys can figure that out, I'm sure, on your own. Or you could do the little circles with the tie. And my words are not even making much sense today, so I apologize for that. So again, I would stuff these full of journal cards and tags at a later time, but that is that one. So let's go ahead and do this one. So these ones are two different heights, so I'm just trying to keep that in mind here. So I know the first one, I definitely want these flowers to be going the right direction. So I'm going to score at 2.5 inches. Like so. And then on this one, I'm going to pretty much do the same thing because I want those flowers to be right side up. It doesn't look like directionally. Yeah, I guess it does matter a little bit there. So let's think about this. So if I did, I would want this to go like that, which means this. Which one's smaller? This one's smaller. Oh, so I have to make sure it goes that way. Otherwise we won't be wide enough. So that's our front flap. And then I don't want it to go the same direction. So let's see what that looks like. That would be the same. I don't want that. Like that. And then this would go like that. Just trying a couple things here, guys. I apologize. I really like those images there on the back. So if I do that, that's not going to matter. So let's do that. So I'm going to score this one at 2.5 as well. Score accordingly. I just bumped the camera. Goodness gracious. To be okay. All right, so that is the top flap. So that's what I need to remember. What's top and what's bottom. And then this one was going to go like that. So I'm going to go ahead and ink these really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I think that's all of my inking for now. I need to replace my sponge. It's crumbly everywhere. So we know that that is our top. So we're going to go ahead and do I think I'm going to go ahead and do, nope, I'm not going to do a thumb notch on the front. I'm not going to round the edges. And this was going to go like that so that this goes like that, which is what I wanted. So I am going to do a thumb notch here. And then obviously we'll have to re-ink that edge. Like so. And then, so that's going to go back like that. And then I want a thumb notch here, and I will adjust that down again just to create a little bit more space to get things in and out of that pocket. So I just I spy to see side to side if I'm sort of even. I just look for a moderate even look there. So that is that. So I'm going to move this down about there. And then that's perfect. That's definitely not in the center. It's okay. Nobody's going to be, nobody's going to be policing this, as I always say. So the only thing you wouldn't want to move this up so much that your flap doesn't cover it would be the only concern. So I'm going to do that. I'll probably put Velcro closures on these because I like that. It's very simple. And I need to just take off my sweatshirt here. Nothing you need to know, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this pocket on first. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that right about there. And I'm going to put glue. Just for ease, I'm going to put the glue from here down to the tip here. And again, I'm using my art glitter glue because I like, on some things I like how fast it grabs when working on certain projects. So that's perfect. So I'm just going to give that a press. You could obviously also do that with your bone folder. I don't ever see really the need to do that. So then we're there. We're going to turn this over and we're going to do the same here. I'm going to glue from here down to the corner. Everything seems to be, you look at how lined up those wood grain lines are. That's pretty epic. I didn't plan that. I guess that because I cut from the same 6x, so it was originally a 12x12 piece of paper. I used part of it for something else. So then my leftover piece was 6x12, so it would have been on the same side of the page. So it would have been directionally going the the same way, which is awesome. So there we go. There's our second one. So again, I'll play around, and I'll probably put the final product as far as like what I do on the front and decorating in the final videos, at the final photos at the end of the video, so you guys can see. So that is number 2. And here is number 3. I'm going to speed through this one. So there we go. I love this one. I love how neutral it is. So I'll be definitely using this more in a kind of more of a neutral, probably a neutral kind of journal. So that is the next one. So yeah, I like it. And you could always, obviously you couldn't go back and round these corners after they're glued down, but you could round the outer corners. In fact, let's go ahead and do that just because we can. So I'm going to go ahead and round those bottom corners. It's a little tricky when they're together and they've got glue in there. So, and then I'm going to round these ones as well. I like the rounded look for the most part. I don't like sewing around the rounded part though if I stitch, which you could also totally stitch these and it would give it a lot more class and interest, but I love that just the way it is. So there's that one. So this is our last one, and we're going to do this again real time, and we're going to decorate it as well. So let's go ahead and get our scoreboard over here. So this one is not directional at all, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and score this one at, I think these ones were the same size. Let me just make sure that they are. Yeah, they were exactly the same size. So we can score at 2.5. And 2.5. Like so. Get that out of the way. And so let's see, I think I really like this really dark pink in the front. And let's see what we want here. So we've got that on the back, so we definitely want some of this purple back here. So let's fold that up. So it just ends up being purple to purple for some reason on the inside, I guess, just because of the way I'm choosing to do that. Let's turn it around just to see if we like that better, because this is what you're going to see for the most part, is that. But then it's the same. Yeah, no, we don't want that. We don't want same. That would be boring. Ah, so challenged. Goodness gracious. Okay, like so. So let's go ahead and do our thumb notches. I'm not going to do a notch on here, but I am going to round the corners. It's easier to round them before they're glued and doubled. So there's that, and then what do we want? These rounded as well. Yep, let's round these. So it gets easier as you do them because, you know, new things are always challenging, right? I'm not going to round these ones. So we've got round in, rounding, and straight. So let's go ahead and do our thumb notch here. Sometimes my I Spy is good and sometimes it's not. So that's that pocket, and I am going to do that, and then I'm going to line. Yeah, I should be able to just kind of I Spy this because it's right below it. Should be pretty easy to line up. Famous last words. There we go. So that's going to go on there and there. And you know what? Yeah, those are rounded already. That one didn't round very well. Oh, that's the other piece peeking through. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this, and I will speed through that and be back with you to complete this one. I'm liking this purple ink. It's really quite rich. It's a beautiful paper. So again, this is Crash Your Trash. So I am using scraps from my scrap bin. So that's the idea here. You obviously would not have to use your scraps. You could pick your most favorite scrapbooking paper and just do it that way. But I'm intending to use my scraps, so it's a great way to use them. Boy, I need to change that sponge. Terrible. In fact, we're going to do this before I move on. Makes me crazy. Crazier than I already am. You know what I mean? So let's see. Let's get another one out of my drawer. They last pretty good. I did try the domed ones too, thinking that maybe they'd be better, but they're not. They don't hold up any better. I'm pretty rough with my inking, so that's probably why. Mine just shreds so fast. So again, this is this, right? Because we did not have thumb notches. And then we have a thumb notch there and a thumb notch there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, bless me. Okay, so now we're gonna scooch this up like we've done in the other ones. I'm just making sure that my flap clears this. We don't want that little notch showing, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this. The only thing I don't like about art glitter glue is if you don't cap it, it clogs up so fast. And it's like, I do not want to cap it every single time I use it, you know, like I'm in the project, you know, I'm in the zone. So just making sure that that's straight. Fold that up while holding that in place. There we go. And again, I'm not putting anything in these pockets today. I'll probably do that for the final pictures though at the end, but as far as for filming, I'm not. And then we're going to turn this over and we're going to do the same over here. I love how you can see these just bits of purple here that make it definitely look like it goes together, this part up here. So there we go. I'm also shaky this morning because I did take the prednisone right when I got up this morning. And my body's not used to it, so it's making me a little bit shaky and off balance. So I don't have a paper towel. Hold on. There we go. But I wanted to get it out of the way for today. Get my body used to it. I have to take it for 10 days. Hopefully I'll be able to do that when I go back to work next week. There we go. So that is that. So this one we're going to go ahead and decorate. And I think we will do the closure on this. So let me find a piece of scrap that I can use here to do my closure. Let me see if I have any more of that paper. It would be epic if I did. Oh, I do have another piece of it. So let me grab the punch. Sorry for the shaking, guys. My chair gets caught underneath it if I don't move my chair out far enough. The chair arm gets stuck on the table. Okay, so I've got this punch, which is one of my favorites to use for that purpose. And I think we're going to do this area here, and I'm just going to punch this. You could certainly do, as I mentioned, any kind of closure here that you'd like. I just, this is easy, and it generally works, so. I'm almost thinking I want to double this, though. Let me punch one more, just so that I have something a little bit sturdier. I'll glue them together real quick. just like so. It's going to give it a little bit more stability. Yeah, I love that. Love that a lot. Ink that. Okay, so then when you use this, you want to just glue it on the bottom half and move it down just a little bit. So I'm going to put my glue about here all the way over. It's a lot of glue. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem. And then you don't want to have it go up. You don't want it to struggle with getting that flap in. So I'm making sure that I'm clearing the glue area, and then it looks to be about even in the middle there based on my eye spying. So then when you pull this out, you've got your flap. It is going into that our thing there. That's interesting. I didn't anticipate that. I'm going to try to get in here and see if I can. Oh no, it's not going to matter because this is going to go on top. So I'm just going to put it in there just to make sure no glue is getting in the way. And then I'm going to take it back out so that that can glue. So now we're going to work on a little bit of embellishing on this. Actually, I'm going to have to close it because otherwise I can't work on it. So you guys are familiar with my layering, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a cluster here. And then we've got our word, which says, "Every day has wonder." Don't you know? That is the truth. Sometimes it takes perspective taking. You know, you have to stop and think about how you're viewing the world and your circumstances. So, and then I think I'm going to use a bit of this under my word. Scissors, but I haven't even used scissors today. Imagine that. Actually, I don't know if I want that edge. Maybe I just want some in the middle. Actually, that would probably work just fine. What I just cut off. I'm not using more than I need, as long as it will fit on there. And that should be fine. Yep. So let's go ahead and start gluing these bits down, and then we can decide where exactly we want the lace. Actually, I think I'll put a little piece under all of this. Of course, you could decorate yours any way you like. Not everybody is in for the lace and stuff. I love the lace, and it's just part of who I am. So it brings me a lot of joy to have that kind of frou-frou, feminine bit. So there we go. There's our cluster. So I will make some journal tags and some tags and journal cards, and I will be sure to put those at the end of the video for you all to see. So thank you so much. Again, hop on over to Naigiza Creates. I will link her video in the video description. So thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.